then it's okay. But where did you get that? I simply disclaim the truth of what you are saying. Where did I advocate, this is, sorry, a direct lie. Where did I advocate the deportation of the refugees? Show me one passage and I kill myself here now. No, my point was this one, that Western powers on purpose make it difficult for the refugees, you know, this humiliating transport through. Why not do something like this? Establish bases in Libyan coast, there, and organize it through airlift or whatever. Why this humiliating process and so on and so on? Sorry, what was your, this is my, when you say militarization, what militarization? Closing border, did I ever say this? No. Yes, I did. I do to provoke, I admit this, but not militarization in the sense of we have big armies which are there masturbating, doing it. They can be very usefully used to organize large projects, like moving hundreds of thousands of people and so on. I don't, and this is part of a much larger project that I have, it may be crazy, with my friend Fred Jensen, who is directly, there you will get the explosion. He thinks that the army can be subverted as the only large force which functions outside. And incidentally, this is a long tradition of one and so on. I mean, I'm not afraid of the term militarization because my enemy is not the state. My enemy is big capital, my God. The problem is I'm ready to make a pact with the devil to limit capital. My problem is this, which is a deadly serious one. How to prevent the right-wing radicalization of Europe. That's the true problem now. And through this leftist sentimentality, you will not do it. I know, you know what I fear? The right-wingers will silently win, and then, as always, there will be wonderful leftist analysis of why it had to fail. You know, like, the leftists are at their best when a revolution fails, and then they write an excellent theory of why it has to fail. I mean, I'm simply thinking about, I know this is a radical position, but look at Venezuela and so on. I simply don't think that army is necessarily a reactionary institution. I think that, now I will be very brutal, all those Silicon Valley corporate hippies are much more dangerous. Like, I fear much more Google than the army. I fear, you know who convinced me? Julian Assange. He gave the best definition of Google, which is privatized corporate NSA. And they are directly connected, they collaborate with it, and so on and so on. So that's the first thing. Second thing, when you said gay community, yes, I know all this. My God, maybe, sorry, I don't know from where you are from. I was in Ramallah and visited a gay club there and so on. Ramallah is an exceptionally vibrant city and so on and so on. But you know what I don't get? Because people who criticize me, and when I insist on that minimum, you know, gay rights, women's rights, and so on, they tell me, but this is a pseudo problem. But my answer is, okay, so it's a pseudo problem, perfect. Then there is no problem. But from what I hear, it's not purely a pseudo problem. I read a leftist analysis, which claims that, for example, I underlined 3 times the word leftist, which claims, for example, that here in Germany, over 2,000 Muslim girls per year escape home, and they have to be escaping from their family, and so on and so on. I'm not saying that we should in any way censor Muslim communities for this. I'm just saying, if, now you will say this is exaggeration, no girl does this. I say perfect, so it's okay. But if a girl does this, the state has to protect her. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, and okay, when you say this exaggeration and so on, did you follow, and I checked it through my leftist friends, did you follow what happened, now it's almost a year ago, in England, in Rotterdam, where it exploded in the media that Pakistani gangs in a city of about 100, close to Liverpool, somewhere there, Pakistani gangs systematically, by systematically I mean for a period of 6-7 years, serially raped 1,500 poor white girls. Am I saying we should demonize Islam for this? No. I've written quite a lot celebrating Islam. I'm well aware of the wonders in Islam and so on and so on. I just think that this, how should I call it, this leftist attitude of proclaiming any criticism of Islam, or Islamophobia and so on. No, I totally agree with you that it's not only Islam. My God, it's horrible. That's why I'm going literally 2 weeks from now to Ramallah to participate. Then it's an ingenious move. We are organizing with my friends a Walter Benjamin conference in Ramallah, to steal it from them. And I'm going there, and I know what horrors religious fundamentalists, for example, Israel is doing now. Objects, then, if you ask me frankly, yes, the right to asylum, but now I know I'll be again accused of racism and so on and so on. But I think it's totally crazy and provocative to treat the right of asylum in this way that, okay, millions can come here, stop. No. First, it has to be organized, I claim, and it can be organized. Why not? Why not organize it? I'm excluding no one, but why not organize it? Why? This is so humiliating. 21st century, and tens of thousands of people are walking through there. But you say, let's not talk about Saudi Arabia and so on and so on. Okay, then I ask you, but isn't it symptomatic that you are now criticizing Germany, which, in spite of all criticism and so on, showed relatively the most openness. You see, again, this is the superego logic. You criticize a country which was doing relatively the best here. Criticize England, criticize France, criticize them, and so on. And also, I don't accept what you are saying, like, we don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. You prefer us.
Es freut mich jetzt wirklich sehr, damit
so
sind wir tendenziell, würde ich sagen, es freut mich sehr aus Ihrem Munde, es freut mich als deutschen Patrioten aus Ihrem Munde, eine so starke Verteidigung der Position Deutschlands zu hören. Nein, das meine ich ganz ehrlich. Das finde ich irgendwie ganz gut, und ich finde es irgendwie nicht so produktiv, nach 2 Stunden, in denen man über etwas geredet hat, zu sagen, warum haben wir nicht über was anderes geredet. Zizek hat, glaube ich, hier Text erzählt, über den man selber nachdenken kann, und hat, glaube ich, an vielen Punkten Positionen gebracht, wo man die Fragen, die hier gestellt wurden, sich selber hätte beantworten können.
Because this was actually clarify my position. Yes, Europe should bring in a couple of millions of refugees, no problem for me, but in an organized way with clear rules. This I see as the only way to prevent, because you said you squeezed out of democracy. What do you want then? The right-wingers to win? Because if it goes on like this, the greatest victim will be the refugees.